All right, on today's Wildcat Week episode, I don't know what Owen was doing, but we're going to have our normal three sections like usual. So we're going to start off with the rundown, then we're going to move into an interview with a couple of people on the tennis team.
Oh, men's tennis team.
Tennis team, and wow, it was a good one.
Yeah, it was solid.
It was groovy.
Hey, and also in the interview, we were talking about their drip. You're looking drippy today. Donovan gets to announce the girls' playoff basketball game tonight. I'll get into that, or Donovan will get into that. But he's looking really drippy tonight. Nice collared shirt. I'm over here, lounging around in a polo t-shirt.
Post lift. It's okay.
I know. I appreciate it.
It's okay.
You got khakis and a collared shirt on. But Donovan's got places to be. So let's get into this.
Places to be, place to get into. So we're gonna hop right into that intro video. Then Owen will take us away with men's basketball.
Yeah, roll it.
On the carry, Shoemaker through the hole. Shoemaker to the end zone. Wildcats are pouring it on.
Hastings across to the middle. Goal! Goal! That's the game! Wildcats win it!
You're listening to Wildcat Week, presented by Amplify Media.
All right, Donovan, again, solid. What an intro that you made. I'm still proud of you. So let's start off with men's baseball. Last week they had a couple games get canceled. They played Indiana Tech. They had a 3-4 loss. The first game that was on February 21st, Monday, it was a doubleheader. So they got that first game canceled. The second game, they took a dub, 3-run dub, 6-3. It was at Indiana Tech as well. So, to come out of a 2-game series, splitting the series, it's probably not what you want, but at least you'll come out of the series with a win that puts them at 2-4 on the season. They haven't started conference yet. They won't start conference for a while though.
Yeah.
So good job to the boys. And then right now they're in Alabama. I'll talk about that after the interview, but best of luck. They got down there safely. I do know that. So best of luck to them.
Yeah, they are playing right now.
As we speak.
My suite mate is a baseball player, and so my roommate was watching the stream, and so they're playing right now. Yep. Today it's Friday at 5:45 p.m., so they are playing right now.
Yeah. And then let's go on to men's basketball. They entered in playoffs, but before the playoffs, they played Mount Vernon Nazarene, University of Ohio. And Donovan, I think we have a curse on the men's basketball team. Anytime we say they're going to kick some teams' butt, they take an L. And it wasn't by much. It was only by 1. It was a close game the whole time. Mount Vernon just came out and played, and they quite possibly outplayed us, and which is kind of weird to say considering how well of a year we've had so far. But, think about it. Some of our stars didn't perform well. We had one guy in the 20s. So, and that was Seth Maxwell, who is one of our, I guess, what you would say our star of the team. Yeah. And then Mount Vernon had a guy, Kyle Keegley. He put up 25 points. He shot 9 of 13 from the field. He played 32 minutes, which is only second behind Eric McLaughlin, who had 13. He had the second most on Nazarene. Keegley shot 0 for 2 from 3, but the fact that he put up 32 the fact that he put up 25, shot 19 for 13 from the field, and he had 13 boards, so he had a double-double.
Yeah, I think he's like almost a 7-footer for them. He also had
he's there, Seth Maxwell.
Yeah, he also had a clip of absolutely posterizing Alex Stauffer on our team. Sorry about that, Alex. Great game.
Yeah, great. Great game.
I looked at my phone because someone was calling.
No, you're good. Yeah. Spencer Piercefield did his own due diligence. he shot 50% from the field, 7 for 14. He played 38 minutes. He's always played the most on the team, most minutes per game. So, he's a smaller guy. He can run around. He's got the, I guess, how would you say? He's got the
build.
Yeah, he's got the build to play very long. Yeah. So, he's our shooting guard, correct? He plays shooting guard, point guard, kind of.
Yeah.
But he didn't do his usual production from the 3-point line. He shot 3 for 7, which is a little bit below 50%. It's not bad. No. But when you're a guy that usually shoots above 50 or above, I know Spencer probably wasn't too happy with that performance. And we didn't get to the line a lot. Seth Maxwell was 3 for 4 from the line. Spencer Piercefield was 2 for 2. The only guy that got into, I guess, a higher range of the getting to the line was Dan Largy, and he was 5 for 7. Okay. So, and he put up 16. So he was 1 for 5 from 3. Yeah. So it was an off game for the guys, it's okay.
It could have been a good. You? I actually wasn't, but it okay. I saw some highlights and stuff. I think it was a good wake up call because now you're in Crossroads League season, and in a couple weeks you're going to be doing NAIA National Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
So now you enter the part of the season where you can't lose or else your season's
exactly.
over. Yeah. So I mean, these will be. It was a good wake up call in their last regular season game. That was their last regular season game. Yeah, and last conference game, regular season game, same thing. But anyways, scratch that. I mean, it's a loss. A loss is a loss. It's whatever. Coach Sonical probably wasn't too happy, but is a full reset.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally you go into the playoffs. It's a completely new season, but it's a sudden death. Yep. So, they won regular season conference title. But that, I don't know how basketball works. I can't remember if we asked the guys when they came on, but I'm pretty sure if you win the regular season conference, does that kind of get you as like a somewhat bid into the national tournament?
If you win, okay, so NAI is different. So there's host sites across the nation where they host about, I say 4 teams.
Yeah.
And so the winner of all of those host sites move on to the actual national championship, which would be in Kansas City, Missouri for the men, Sioux City for the women's. Yeah. But how you get into that opening round, I think if you win your conference, you get an automatic bid to the opening round. I know
the men's did get an auto bid because they just got announced that they'll be hosting. So yeah. I think the women as well. You'll hit on that a little bit later. But so anyway, scratch that aside. NL. Conference playoffs start. First game of the conference tournament. They played the rivals, good old Taylor, and they gave them a beatdown.
It was also a very game.
A beatdown. Taylor lost by 18, 84-66. Wildcats with the dub. And I mean, it's kind of what you expected, even though the first 2 games against Taylor were decently close, especially that last game against Taylor. Taylor had 2 guys score in the 20s. Caden Furman and Jason Hubbard had Caden had 25, Jason had 21. But when that's the only 2 guys to score in the double digits, it's going to be tough to win. They had 1 guy get 8 points, get close to double digits.
And that Furman guy, he had a great game. He hit
10 for 14, 5 for 7 for threes.
Yeah. Right in people's faces.
Yeah, and I mean, and then Jason Hubbard's that kid that you talked about last week, was it, on the last episode, 00, that had a pretty solid game. So Taylor had a good game from their stars, but when it comes to the rest of the guys, the filler guys, they didn't really have that well of a game. So
it was also a little bit chippy. 2 technical fouls were called, both on Taylor.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, it's county rivals. It was Crossroads League season, so
yeah, it is what it is. But the Wildcats, they didn't have a single guy in 20s, but they played a complete team game.
They did.
Tim Adekasi had 17. Dan Largy had 14. Seth Maxwell had 13. Spencer Piercefield had 12. Luke Steven had 6. Griffin Cleaver had 12. And then, I mean, you had 4, 2, 2, 2. And then from guys that, literally, they had guys who hadn't played minutes at all season get into that game. So it was actually really cool to see guys be able to get that playing time. But I mean, Spencer Piercefield, he again had a difficult game from 3. He was 2 for 6, which again is right below 50%. But I mean, Dan was back in action. He has 2 for 3 from 3. He was 4 for 6 from the field. So I mean, he was shooting threes and like no other. So
and he only had 2 or 3 points in the second half total.
Yeah, that's what it says right here. So no one really had a standout game, but we didn't have that many turnovers. We had 9 turnovers to Taylor they had 10, but I mean, think about it. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys score double digits. And I know no one was in the 20s, had an insane game, but it was a complete team effort. I mean, when you have guys getting 6, I mean, look at this. Tim, 6 rebounds. Dan, 4 rebounds. Seth, 5 rebounds. Spencer Piercefield, 6 rebounds. When your starting point guard or starting shooting guard, wherever he's at, has 6 boards, I mean, that's getting second chance points for your team, and it obviously leads to an 84 point game for you. So.
And also, we jumped out to a very, very big lead at the beginning. I think it was
they were up by 10.
No.
Oh no, I'm talking about going into halftime. We were up 40-30.
No, I'm talking even like 5-6 minutes into the game.
Okay,
it was
gotcha.
like 20-4.
Gotcha.
And then Taylor did a great job at battling back that first half. Because if you would have watched the first 5 minutes and never watched it again, you would have thought that game would have ended up 100-25.
Yeah. But, I mean, hey, congratulations to the boys. I'll talk about what they're going to be going on later. Once again, the bowling team still hasn't played, so I'll talk about that after the interview, what they have next coming up. The tennis team, February 22nd, this past Tuesday, they played against DePaul University. And Donovan, they did what they normally do, 9-0.
Smashed them.
Full sweep. So congratulations to the boys. There's some talented guys. There's some funny guys. We had them on earlier, we had them on today for this episode. Yep. So I mean, just really great guys, super down to earth. I mean, it's not very often where you can come across such a great group of guys. And I mean, the fact that they lead their team very well, all around. It's an all around team effort. So. I mean, just really, really, really cool to see from such a team that, like they'll talk about in their interview, didn't really come to fruition until late. They said they talked about it in the interview. I don't really want to spoil it, but they did say that the past 2 years, it was 2 juniors, so guys our age. They said their freshman year they struggled a little bit, and they were very willing and humble to admit that. Yeah. But this year they've kicked some. But especially against very tough NCAA
Division
II against Grand Valley State, and then against the NCAA Division I, which is where DePaul is at. I'm pretty sure.
I think.
Oh no, they're Division III. DePaul's Division III. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
But still NCAA. Still. So I mean, a very, very, very good job. The Crossroads League Championship happened this past weekend for track and field. So and the Wildcats came 3rd out of 10. Which I don't really know. We haven't got a chance to we had the throwers on, but we haven't really got a chance to, kind of ask them where they wanted to see themselves at coming into that. I mean, obviously they probably wanted to finish first.
Well, yeah, obviously you want to finish first. But I do remember from the interview that we had with Dan and Evan, they're also saying they want to take this time to help build themselves up to where they can be by the time the national championships hit. For indoor and then also for the outdoor season. Yeah.
So we had some all league finishes. Guys come in second. We had 2 guys come in second, 2 people come in third. The distance medley relay of Stephen Ott, Josh Philo, Dylan Dunaway, and Eli Fullerton came in third. So a really good job for those guys. NAIA A standards were awarded to Stephen Ott, Josh Philo, Dylan Dunaway, and Eli Fullerton for that distance medley relay, so they will have a auto bid to the national tournament meet. So, and then we had a couple PRs, season A standards list. So yeah, and the Coach Snyder, his perspective was it was an exciting first day with a handful of big PRs today that I think will set us up to run really well tomorrow amidst some great competition. Our team really fought hard today, and I'm looking forward to seeing on how day 2 plays out. So that was kind of the results from Friday, February 18th. Now on to February 19th. That's Saturday. They came back out, had a decent meet. Some all league finishes. Stephen Ott, again, he finished first place, so he won conference for the mile with a 4:13.88.
Wow.
We had 2 people come in second, 3 in third for some 800, 400, 300 or 3,000. Eli Fullerton, the freshman, came in second place for the 3,000 meter. So I mean, as a freshman, that's huge.
In
one of the toughest conferences.
Yeah,
very big. I don't doubt that. He had a good year in cross country as well. So, we had a couple people triple jump, finished third, and then shot put. Taylor Waterway for the girls finished third. So, and then we had a new NAIA A standard, Ben Hnatyshyn. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, Ben, but Hnatyshyn, he got an A standard for mile with a 4:17.60. So he will move on to the national tournament meet, or national meet is what they call it. So a couple of team PRs the second day, some season A standards. So, and then I'm a finish it off with what Coach Snyder said for the overall meet. He said the indoor league championship for us are kind of like midterms. We want to do well and we want to win, but it's more of a measurement of where we are as we head into the second half of the season, which is the outdoor season. So he said, overall, I'm pumped about where we're at. Our key people really carried a lot of weight in the team scores, and we saw a lot of stellar progress all throughout the rest of the team. I'm thankful for this team and how they've encouraged and loved on each other this season. Now the focus shifts to indoor nationals in a couple weeks that I'll talk about later. And as we look to a great crew up in South Dakota, which is where they host the indoor national.
It's going to be chilly.
So it's going to be chilly, but it's indoors. So, but Donovan, a really solid job. That's another, I guess you can say, another successful people we've had on, and they didn't come out and poop the bed. So that's another week in a row where we haven't had a guest do bad. So.
I think competitive cheer broke that curse.
Yeah, they really
broke
did.
it.
Yeah,
and it was awesome to see him break it.
Yeah, we just need to make sure when we do the preview, not to say that some basketball team's going to kick someone's butt,
smash someone or something like
or
that.
They might lose. So, but take it away with women's basketball.
Yeah, so women's basketball, they also have been kind of doing their own thing with the Crossroads League tournament, but also last Saturday they played They played Mount Vernon Nazarene before the men's team played, and they won that game 67-51. Let me scroll down to the Wildcat scoring here. So they were led by Kelly Damon. She scored 16 points. She didn't have her great day from three-point line, 2 for 9. Then also Maddie Lawrence had 13 points. She did come off the bench because it was senior day. And then other than that, they were the only two people to score in double digits for the Wildcats, but they were just in complete control the entire game. It was something where the Mount Vernon Nazarene, the Cougars, they were coming in. You knew that they were they weren't a ranked team. They probably weren't going to make the national tournament opening round. But you still got to get the job done when it comes to conference play and everything like that. So they ended the season on a great note, sending their seniors out for the last home games in a great way as well. So all around, great job to the ladies, the Cougars. They stuck with them for a while. But what happened was in the second quarter, the Wildcats led 17-12 after the first quarter. But then in the second quarter, it pretty much just flip-flopped, and Indiana Wesleyan scored 13 and Mount Vernon only scored 5.
Yeah.
So that created a huge dissonance, and then the lead just kind of kept growing throughout from that point. On to the next game, which happened on Tuesday, so the day before the men's played Taylor. The Wildcats played the Goshen Maple Leafs, and they won 68-45. And this was a very big game for the ladies because they had played the Maple Leafs on like December 1st or something like that, and they only won by like 6 here. And then on February 1st, they went up to Goshen, and they lost by about 12. And that was the one that right after we had Jordan and Claire on the show. And so it was, that was people have talked about, I've heard, they're saying that arguably that was the worst and most embarrassing loss that the ladies have ever given up.
Yeah.
And so they came out and
they definitely held their ground in this one, though.
Oh, they absolutely smashed them. So I was actually calling this game. And you could have said by halftime it was over, which it was, because in the first quarter we outscored them 16-6, and in the second quarter we outscored them 22-7.
Wow.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when you're going to halftime with 15 points, it's or with 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 points. It's kind of tough to kind of get out.
It is tough.
Out of that.
It was tough. So great job to the ladies. Also, like high scores, Lily Frazier, 15 points. The freshman, she's still going, averaging about 15 points this year. She's having a great freshman season for her. And then also a transfer, Riley Parker. She played, I think she transferred here this year from IPFW, now PFW. And she has been always that role player that comes off the bench and maybe shoot, maybe not. Just kind of just to get someone a breather real quick. Well, she had a darn tootin' game for herself.
Really?
And yes, she at the end of the third quarter, she hit 3 threes back to back to back.
Hey.
And so
shoot,
absolutely. I mean, it was literally 3 possessions in a row. She shot a 3 and made them. And so she did an absolutely amazing job. Perfect time for her to peak this season because they're getting ready for
come on.
playoff. I mean, that game was a playoff game, but it's perfect time for them to peak because they will be playing again tonight. That's why I'm dressed so nice.
Yeah.
They're playing Grace College tonight. So great job, Riley Parker. Also, I do know because I did have Jordan read in one of my classes, and she was out sick. So it'll be interesting to see if she plays tonight. I think she will. So good luck to them. Anyway, we'll move on to softball. So softball they have started their season. So they first played Indiana Tech, and where they split the series with Indiana Tech. So the first game against Indiana Tech, the Wildcats lost 3-0. So not a great start off to the season, but then the second game, they said, hey, we took that first game personally, and they won 8-2.
Wow.
So
our
great
softball
job.
team's really good though, and they're ranked too. So
yeah, they're ranked, I believe, 8th.
Yeah.
At least in the top 10, I know that for sure. So they absolutely destroyed them that second game, and then they are also, let's see, so is today the 25th? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so they already had one of their first games done today. They are currently down in Columbus, Georgia, where they're playing Bryan College. I believe that is the correct name for that. And so they won the first game between them 7-4. And
so
they were
off the season 2-1, solid.
They actually took the lead. So both teams scored no runs in the first and second inning, and then the Wildcats hit a home run in the third inning to score 1 run, and then they hit another home run in the fourth inning to score another.
Taking them deep now.
So, yeah, they're absolutely hitting moonshots.
Yep.
But then they actually lost the lead in the fifth inning. Bryan scored 3 runs, but then they scored 3 runs in the 6th and 2 runs in the 7th.
Yeah.
So they're having fun down south playing in the warmer weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently snowing outside. I wish I was a little bit more south of here as well, just because I'm not a big fan of the snow, even though I've grown up in it. So softball, keep doing what you're doing, and then we're also going to move on to competitive cheer. So competitive cheer actually withdrew from their last competition. It would have happened a week ago today. So last Friday, it was supposed to be at Taylor University. I don't know why they withdrew. It could have been, I don't know.
COVID injury.
Could have been COVID injury. I don't think.
I haven't got a chance to catch up with any of them. So
the weather wasn't bad last weekend. So it wasn't a weather thing. So, so for them, but they still have their perfect season going. So as long as they've withdrew from 2 competitions, and if you don't count those 2 that they withdrew, they have won every single meet they've been to.
Good job.
So great job for competitive cheer, and so that kind of wraps up kind of all the things that I had to talk about.
Yeah,
so
let's
because
go into
swimming, they're off right now for a couple weeks.
Did women's tennis play?
Championship. Oh yes, they did. Thank you so much for reminding me. So yes, women's tennis also went down to DePaul University.
Okay.
And guess what they did?
Did they 9-0 them too?
Yeah, they did.
Heck yeah, we did.
They 9-0 them.
Good job, girls.
So destroyed DePaul University at the Indoor Tennis Center. So great job to them.
Yeah.
They'll be having a long spring break upcoming for them.
Yeah, 13 days.
Quickly, before we get into the interview, I will say something happened with the recording that was actually out of.
Yeah.
It was a technical difficulty that me and Owen didn't even have anything to do with it. So you guys will miss the first 3 to 4 minutes of it. You barely miss anything. The biggest thing is I just introduce them and I say that their outfits are super drippy. But I will introduce them. So the person that will be sitting across from me is Isaac Steiner, and the person that will be sitting across from Owen is Trey Thixton. Next. Yeah, so next to me, Isaac Steiner. Next to Owen, Trey Thixton, both juniors from the men's tennis team. Awesome interview.
Yeah, great guys, and they're very drippy.
Very, very drippy. You'll
Clothes
see
on
it.
point.
You'll see
especially
it.
Isaac.
Yeah, I mean, he was wearing a watch that was too big for him anyway, too. So, all right, Owen, shall we get into the interview with them? All right, let's go. So, yeah, you guys won the indoor national championship, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was that experience like?
I mean, I think it was a pretty fun experience. I think a couple of us were a little bit let down by some of the teams that were originally going to come backed out. So we didn't get, like, the top of the top competition, honestly. Like, some of the top 5 teams, it would have been really cool to have them there. But to be able to show up against some still really, really good teams, and I think our final match when we beat Union, we had a tight match with them last year. We kind of took it to them. Like, it was not even close. We steamrolled them in doubles, and then singles, it was the same thing. To see that type of energy from our team and see our guys lock in and focus, I think it was really, really cool, and kind of a little bit of vengeance from last year, because I know a lot of us were upset how we did in the National. When we lost to Lindsey Wilson, we didn't really look like a team that was that focused or ready to be there, because, I mean, we never had been there. But I think this was a really, really good warm-up to something like that and getting into that type of environment.
Yeah, I agree. I think we were a little let down because at first, like when we started this, the top teams that have always been in tennis for NAIA is like Georgia Gwinnett, Kaiser, Xavier, schools like that. And Georgia Gwinnett's like a team that hasn't lost in like 173 matches. They've won like every single year they've been in the national tournament. They've won it. So like they're like that team in the NAIA, and we're
streak in any sport currently.
It's insane. And so we were hoping to have them there because they're not used to playing indoor, and so we're like, we could get them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they backed out and other people backed out. But the thing was, the competition was still good. But it was also a good like thing for us to go to and just dominate, to let like the schools know like we're setting ourselves like apart from the pack, and like we're more in the top 3 pack with those schools. And so, it was just super exciting to see the determination of the team to win.
Yeah. So how does like your coach put together who plays doubles, who plays singles, who plays one singles, and what all that stuff?
I mean, honestly, more so on the single side, it's easier. We do challenge matches and stuff like that, so you'll play your teammates and you'll play like almost everybody. So you'll see who's stacking up against who, because a lot of it's based on matchups. But I mean, doubles is kind of like I think most of the time it's just been, yo, I like that dude. Let's try it out real quick, play for a week, and then just see what happens. I mean, Isaac's played with like 4 different people now. I've played with 3 or 4 different guys, and it's usually just a situation. It's just like, let's just see if it works. You play a couple matches together, a couple sets, you get comfortable, and usually once you lock in after like 3 or 4 matches together, you're kind of expected to stay together and probably play together for a while, and then get better chemistry, see what works, and then boom, that's what you got. You got your teams.
The nice thing with our coach is he's like a fiend for just getting as many matches as he can. He has like this obsession to have the most wins out of any college, any university in the nation. And so what will happen is like you look at the records of like NAIA schools right now, it's like 3-3, like 3-0, all these things. We're like 26-0 because of the fall.
Yeah, you guys do play a lot.
Exactly. But the thing that's nice about that is like, yes, we have challenge matches, and it's like you play this person, and if you lose to them consistently, odds are you won't play in front of them. But if we play matches and that person can't play in a match, then and you can and you keep winning, then like most likely you'll be moved up. And so it's kind of like that. You kind of see how people play in matches. It's like, do you guys have like the thing with like practice players are super good, but in match they're sometimes or in a game 100%. They're awful. Yeah. And so you kind of have to figure that stuff out. Yeah. But with doubles, it's a lot of chemistry, just throwing people together. Yeah. And who likes playing with who.
Yeah.
So have you guys played together?
We played, I think, 2 or 3 times together. So a lot of the times we're kind of like weirdos because we're left-handed, and that's super rare in tennis. And so usually for like doubles teams, you'll put a righty and a lefty together or something because it just works out a little bit better. And a couple matches we got to play together against like Bethel, and then one time against GVSU last year. Yeah. It's fun, but I don't think it's probably going to be in our future anytime soon.
We both play like very similar in how we play doubles, and so you need to pair us with somebody else that like is more plays a different style instead of having the same exact style.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so obviously, we talked about earlier just, how you've gotten guys from Argentina and stuff like that, how playing indoors and outdoors is different. But what was it like going from high school tennis to college tennis? Because, I mean, obviously, I know people hit the ball a lot harder. Some people in high school probably don't take it as seriously. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, kind of go more in depth, about what the true difference is.
Yeah, so the big difference I saw is what's kind of unique, especially with our team, is everybody that is kind of coming from a different place. Even like we're the closest in a sense that there's some people from where he's from, but Fort Wayne and Indy is like the closest in proximity. But everybody's coming in who was like an alpha dog where they're from. And so where I was from, I was more like the dominant tennis player. Me and one of my other friends were the best players in the area. Then you have people coming from Indy that are like more the top dogs from there. And then the same from Argentina and all these things. And so when you put them all together, it's like we are all used to being the best player on the team that we're on. Now it's like, shoot, I'm behind like 3 guys now. I'm behind like 4, 5, 6, even 7. And so the competition's up, obviously. But the biggest thing that's like different isn't even necessarily like how hard we hit the ball. It's who can keep a higher level consistently. Because you play at a high spot on our team if you can keep a high level, right? So, for example, when we play in practice, some of the guys at the top of our lineup, like I play more at like the bottom 6, I can beat some of the guys at the top in practice. But the thing is, I have to play well to do so. They're like they have a higher ceiling than I do, but they also have a better average than I do. And so that's why they're at the top, because they can keep a higher level than I can. It's not necessarily like, oh, they kill me every time we play. Like, I can't ever beat them. No, like, we get each other. We get the best of each other, but it's more so the difference is who can keep that intensity up the entire time. And then when you go play other teams, bro, it gets chippy. In high school, it was not chippy unless you had a rival. Every single team is chippy.
Really?
And the thing that's different, too, in NAI, like, we play them, and a lot of people play for themselves, and so they don't care about the name brand or their school. And so they'll go out there and cheat you. They'll go out there and say things to you that's just not supposed to be in the sport. And that's, like, completely different. High school is more lax. Now it's, like, people cussing you out, cheating, getting up in your face, coming on your side, like, willing to fight you to win the match.
That's crazy.
And so, like, it's way different than high school.
I mean, I've seen like professional tennis on like TV, and I can see like usually you see like the player yelling at like the ref or something like that. Like you see that
Not
chippiness, but like I've never. That's honestly, like, no offense, that's what, like, tennis was like one sport where it's kind of like golf, where like I didn't expect like people to kind of be like chippy with each other.
No, it's supposed to be like a classic.
Classic
sport, like a classy one that you show up and it's more. It like grew up in the club, you know what I'm saying? Like they go to country clubs and you play it just for fun.
Yeah.
But now, like when you go to college, you just get dudes that are wild.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy it. I think that part's fun.
Yeah, that sounds really fun.
It makes it super intense.
Oh man, kind of building off what he was saying though, like. This was like the first time, like, grew up in my area in Center Grove where I went to high school. It's like I was the top dog since middle school, playing through middle school and high school. I had one dude that was in front of me my freshman year of high school, and that was it. And so, like, I never had to fight for a position or anything. I pretty much walked in. I knew everybody in the area, and it was kind of like, all right, you're going to play one. Like, it is what it is. Bro, came here. First 2 weeks, first month, dude, I got dogged. I was like, out of our 15 guys, I was sitting like 11 or 12th easily in the freshman year, dude. And it was just a wake up call, because you realize that, like, one, the strategy is so much different. Like, everybody just grows up thinking in high school, like, oh, you can use power and everything to get past people and just beat people off of, like, strictly being better than them. Like, you can lose a lot of matches in college against people that you're technically better than, that just outplay you. It's a better matchup, better strategy, like anything like that.
Yeah.
So like he was saying, like, you got to be consistent and you got to be focused. Like, you got to be locked in 24/7, because just because you got a lead on someone doesn't mean it's gonna stay that way. Like you can drop a set really, really quickly in something that you really should not be losing in, and then get nervous, tight, and just kind of get rid of the match itself.
Yeah, so how do, like, kind of sets and everything work? Because, like, I know, like, for high school, at least in Indiana, it's, like, first to, like, 6 or 7 sets. So what is it like in college?
Yeah, college, it doesn't change. It's just, like, the rules are a bit different. And the funny thing is the rules changed for college because of how dirty people were playing. So what happened is this. So we have the regular scoring, 6, best 2 out of 3 sets. In high school, depending on if you were playing the tournament or not, it was a 10-pointer to decide the third set. But if you were in the tournament, you played a full third. Now it's like always a full third unless there's timing issues, right? But there's different rules now. So in high school, if I serve the ball and it hits the net and goes over and lands in the box where it's supposed to, it's called a let, reserve. College, you play it.
Oh,
really?
Because what would happen is a lot of times in the D1 schools, instead of calling the ball out to cheat them, if they ace them, like if they hit a serve and they can't return it, they just call it let. Oh no, I heard it. I heard the net ting. You have to serve it again.
yeah.
And so they would cheat that way. They wouldn't call the ball out, but they would say let so they couldn't get the ace. And so they stopped it. And now we literally get aced all the time because it hits the net and just bounces over and you can't
it
get
rolls
it.
over and you're just standing on the back of the
Yeah.
baseline looking.
You look so dumb. It's like depressing. But then another rule that's different is in one game, right? Let's say I'm serving and playing someone. You go love 30, love 15, 30, 40, deuce. So there's deuce and add. College, it's only deuce.
Oh, really?
There's no add.
Oh.
I don't know quite the reason why, but it's just like a time
I
thing.
think it's time, yeah.
Okay.
And so if Trey's returning against me and we have a deuce point, it's a sudden death point. This point determines the game. And so he chooses the side to return.
Yeah.
I serve. We play it out. Whoever wins it gets that game. And
No,
you move
so
on.
no advantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It makes for some big
Wow.
points.
Yeah.
And you guys like call your own lines too, like if it's out or in and
yeah.
everything like that.
Oh, yeah.
And so those get chippy, I bet.
Yeah, you get a lot of people. I would say for the most part, like I wouldn't say majority of people you have problems. Majority of people, there might be like one or two where like it's not uncommon to kind of ask and be like, "Yo, you sure about that?" And every once in a while, you'll get somebody that'll change it. As in, like if you're adamant about it and you're like, "Yo, dude, like for real, that ball was in," and you're calling lines good for them. Like every once in a while, someone will be like, "All right, sorry, man, like ball's good or whatever." But you have the other side. You have the other guys that will just do it one time to get a reaction of you, see what happens, and then it carries on from there. And the weird thing, everybody knows those teams, and you can see when it's happening. Yeah. And like you can tell pretty quickly when something's getting bad or when that situation's happening. But I think for the most part, I'd say like 80% of the time it's clean.
Are you guys like able to like call over like a coach or something like that? If you keep seeing it happen.
Yeah. So what will happen is like if there's no refs at the match, the coaches are kind of the line judges in the sense if a coach is there and say I make a bad call, say I call the ball out when it was in, my coach will say, no, that was in, give the point. But the thing is, their coach can't overrule me. So the problem is when you face a team that is fine with cheating to win, the coach won't overturn it. He'll just turn his back and act like he didn't see it and nothing will happen. Now when we get to the tournament, there's refs on every single court.
Okay, yeah.
And so that helps just because it's like these are the matches that determine the national champion.
Yeah.
I
mean,
we had a dude against Martine last year at one. So the way that it works with cheating, if you get caught by like refs and everything, there's like a point system. You get a warning, and then it's 1 point, then a game. So this dude that was playing Martine, he lied about the score and took 2 full games from Martine, which was crazy in itself. But he got to the game violation because he was cheating so much in front of the refs. So he was one more bad call away from losing the set and forfeiting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
And it was in the third set, so if he would have got caught one more time, that one time that he was cheating him to take the games, if he would have got caught, match over, Martine won that one, and we would have been 3-all in the match instead of.
Dang. So like when it comes to NCAA, like so when you play these NCAA schools, is the ruling different from that point? So like does NCAA rules have different rules than NAIA, or is it just all colleges kind of have a cohesive rule?
We adapted NCAA our freshman year, actually.
Oh, okay,
because-
So
cool.
before
All
that,
right,
it was
yeah.
different, but
Yeah.
then we took on their rules.
Okay, because then my next question would have been, is there whose rules you guys use? But so
Yeah.
that's all right, got it.
Yeah, we were late to the party. Did we play 8-game pro sets freshman year for
No.
doubles? Okay,
No.
yeah, freshman year was the first time we actually, like, they took every NCAA rule and put it
Gotcha.
for NAIA.
Cool. Okay, well that makes things a lot easier then. Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. So kind of a weird question. Do you guys grunt when you hit the ball?
Oh yeah,
Especially if we're tired.
Yeah.
Especially,
Really?
like, the thing is, so for a lot of people, I know, so for my brother, it was a weird case. When we were young, we had to teach him to grunt, because what would happen is when he did not grunt, he would hold his breath. And so he passed out on the court before because when he'd swing, he wasn't
okay,
breathing.
yeah.
And so for him to grunt was that. But sometimes we have one player on the team, Josh. What will happen is he'll hit the ball, wait a second, and then go, oh, as it's like on their side to mess with them. But yeah, like
That's
I'll grunt,
hilarious.
but the only time it will be like loud is if it's like a long match and
yeah.
I'm getting tired and I just need to like throw everything at it.
Gotcha.
I said like the easiest analogy is like you hear how a boxer, like when they throw a punch and everything, they blow out a little bit of air and let that little noise out.
Yeah.
Like it's a similar concept, and like I was always taught to do it because it builds rhythm. So like if you hear that recurring noise and everything, you're getting in rhythm and getting in. It's just a little bit easier to stay within yourself and get comfortable in the point.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
there are
that
some
makes
people that
sense.
just do it to be loud and obnoxious. Like
Yeah.
there was a girl from UIndy.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, we were indoors. It was like she had a megaphone on court. It was so loud the entire day.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Do you guys do mixed doubles or no? Is
No.
that a thing? Okay, I didn't
No,
know
we
because
don't.
I know that's a thing in like professionals and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I didn't know.
If we did that, that would take so long. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
and we'd
that
be.
makes sense.
I'd have no mercy. I'd go straight. If I had an easy ball, I don't
Straight
care,
at
bro. I'm going for the win.
Gosh.
No respect. We're equal on the court. We're
Yeah.
going at it.
Absolutely.
That makes sense. Yeah. No. So another kind of going along the line of like funny questions like Donovan. So, tennis balls, they're pretty fast. I mean, especially when someone hits it and, you might miss a swing and you get hit in a specific area. You don't want to get hit in. What is for each of you, just, it doesn't matter who goes first, but what's the most, I guess, embarrassing moment of getting hit with a ball that you ever experienced, whether it was college, high school?
I got a good one from high school. This is my brother. I'm going to send this to him if he
Yeah.
ever gets to hear about it. So, like, we do, like, clinics and stuff for high school. And so, like, 20, 30 people show up. You're training, practicing with coaches, everything like that. And there was this game we were playing that is like a doubles game. And so there's teams rotating in every other point and everything like that. And so my brother was playing on the other side. He was on the opposite team. And I was just standing on the side of the court, just with my racket across my chest, just standing there, not paying attention or whatever. And my brother was a state finalist doubles player. So he was a good dude, and he played baseball here for a couple of years. And so he just had a cannon of an arm. So he could serve the ball, hit it, spike it, anything super, super hard. And I was just sitting, chilling, talking to my friends like this, just looking over. He went backwards on an overhead, and he missed it, and it didn't even bounce. I'm talking like 115, 120, just straight there. Bro, I was on the ground for 25 minutes.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't have to
easily.
run after practice or anything. Like I was just in shambles after that, bro.
No
It's
way, bro.
different.
Dude, I actually don't think I've ever been hit there. I don't think I've ever been hit there. I've gotten nailed square in the forehead many times, though, bro.
Really?
So I'm like, it was with my brother too. So I was definitely that like younger brother that was so annoying to my brother, especially because like I wanted to win everything, and when I wasn't winning, dude, I would cheat the heck out of the game just to make him so mad. But there was one time, whenever I'd come to the net, I would start like making noises as I go up, just just yelling, and he just stepped up and just hit a rocket right to my forehead, and I just went straight down. He didn't even walk up to me asking how I was. He just went and grabbed a drink and just waited for me to get up. So
That's hilarious.
like, yeah, I haven't been hit anywhere else really, the body, but like
Yeah.
forehead multiple times.
That's a
Fun
blessing.
fact, that same brother was the first person to hit me in college, my first point of my college career ever.
Wow.
For real?
Practice, yeah, at practice, we were doing a doubles drill, and he was coming forward on a ball, and he went straight at us. Same situation. I was standing at the net. I just took it off the side of my chest. It was the first ball I ever touched in college.
Welcome to
Welcome,
college.
yeah,
Welcome to the
yeah,
team.
you
Welcome to
have-
Wildcats.
Yeah, you got football moments where you get like smoked or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
hilarious. Yeah.
So speaking of serving, like me and Owen, we've never played tennis.
Yeah.
If you guys were to serve to one of us, would I be able to visibly watch the ball come at me?
I think you'd
Visibly
be able
watch
to
it?
Uh,
see it.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to see it.
But there would be 0% chance I'd be able to return it.
I'd be able to return
I think
that.
you could
That's
possibly make contact, depending on you got like any baseball history or anything
Yeah.
like that. Any like
Golf.
Okay.
Yeah, you have some
You could
hand-eye
time it. Yeah,
coordination or
hand-eye
anything like
coordination,
that.
you're
You
fine.
could, like the ball will come, you could put your racket out.
You could.
Yeah.
I don't
touch
think
it.
you could get it back, though.
Yeah, over the net
Yeah.
or anything. Like, bro, half the time I don't even make it over the net anymore. So, I mean,
Yeah, there's sometimes dudes will make you look dumb on the court,
yeah,
and you
bro.
won't get a ball back for a while.
Yeah.
Dang.
I think the hardest part about it's not always the speed. It's just there's different spins and stuff you can put on the ball. You can put top spin on a serve. You can put side spin. You can just hit it flat where it just goes straight through the court. And a lot of it's location. So, like, if someone sees you're standing somewhere where you shouldn't be, they'll just hit it at a really,
Yeah.
really good spot, not even that hard, and you just can't do anything about it anyways.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we
Dang.
could we can just depending on how we hit the ball, like I can make it bounce and go right. I can make it bounce and go left. It's just however I want to hit the ball.
Yeah. Dang, that's ridiculous. It's like being able to like put spin on the ball. Whenever I think of like tennis, it's like, I grew up on like you said, like a country club and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
like there's like they have tennis courts and stuff like that over there. But I mean, I always just kind of played golf
Yeah.
with my brother because my brother plays golf. But like whenever we go mess around or whatever, it's just kind of like we just hit. It's like ping pong where you just kind of hit it straight to each other.
Yep.
But then you play against someone that's like really good at ping pong and they can like spin it and stuff. It's you have stand no chance.
No, it's like it's the
So,
same concept, really. Yeah.
It's just like golf. Like you can hit a draw, you can hit a cut. Everything does the same. It gets to the same point, same job done, but it just looks different to the eye. And so you got to be trained to see it to some point.
Yeah, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. So growing up, obviously you guys play a whole lot of tennis, but watching tennis, who was your favorite professional to watch?
Same answer here. I already know it. Same
Dude.
answer here.
All right, then on 3, then we'll count it down. Okay.
3.
What?
You count us down.
1, 2, 3.
Nadal.
Rafa.
Oh,
that's the
okay.
it's
okay.
the-
Oh,
same
yeah,
guy,
same guy.
Same guy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
No,
a goat.
And the thing is, like, in tennis, there's really like 3 that people look up to.
Yeah.
It's Rafa, Federer, and Novak, Djokovic, like the big 3. But if you're a lefty, it's kind of just like a given that it's Rafa.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I modeled a lot of my game after him, and just so watching him is always fun for me.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, he just won the what was it? The
Aussie Open.
Australian
Yeah.
Open,
21 majors leading now.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
That's awesome. Have you seen either him or like have you gone to a professional like the one? Because I know they have the U.S. Open in New York. So have you ever been to that before?
So I haven't been to U.S. Open.
Okay.
No, I haven't gotten that privilege. But there's a tournament that we get to go to in the preseason, the Cincy Open.
Okay,
and so it's
cool.
like right before the U.S. Open, and like usually the big names go there. It's a big tournament.
It's called a Masters 1000, so
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
the level right below majors.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we get there, and everybody's going and watching everything. And I'm just like, where's Rafa? I don't care about anybody else. I'm going to watch him. And so I sit there like for an hour and a half of his practice, and he's coming to sign stuff. And so like I just grab my hat, whatever I had, and I'm just like, he looks at me, bro. And I'm like, Rafa, please, like, you don't know what this will mean, dog. And he looks away and walks away.
No.
He just goes to someone else's side. I'm like, you know, I'm trying to reason in my head, it's fine. But then we go back and he's going to the player lounge where they stay. And so he's coming through, so everybody's piling up. I'm like, Rafa! And he comes to our side. He looks at me again. I'm like, bro, you missed me before. And like I'm handing my hat. And he just disses me and goes in the player lounge. But he comes back out later, going to dinner or something. And he's like saying no to everybody. And I just scream at him, bro. I'm just like, Rafa, sign my hat. And then he looked at his guys. He's like, hold on. He came over and signed my hat, and like all the guys that were there from IWU and stuff. And so I had one interaction with him. It took me 3 times, but I got it.
3rd time's charm.
Yeah, great story.
Little known fact, I made a Instagram story of the top American, Jack Sock. Sat there, screamed at his match the entire time while he was playing doubles. Sat next to his rather attractive wife. I don't know. She was smoked. And I got a picture with him. He reposted on a story.
Yeah, he put it on his story.
Sick.
Yeah,
That's
It's
awesome.
just me geeked out with him next to him.
That's hilarious.
Was that the one where we were like CC Bellis was there and we were like
Yeah.
flirting with her on court?
Yeah.
So she was like this young like professional, and she was like near our age.
Yeah.
And we're like, dude, she's so attractive. And so we just start flirting with her. And what happened was she went to the net and she got lobbed. And so it's like running overhead, she's running back. And we had this like fancy shot called like a tweener where you hit it between your
Yeah,
legs.
that's sick.
One of our friends yells, tweener. She doesn't hit it. Her coach literally goes, stop talking. Like told us to be quiet during the practice. And we all just hit our friend and we're like, what are you doing, dude?
Crazy.
But, hey, we were talking to her.
Let her know. Gotta let her know.
So
Gotta
last
give her some
question.
advice.
Last question. A little bit more serious. So I always like to ask our athletes kind of like the last thing during the interviews. What has this tennis program for you? How's it going to develop you guys more outside of just being a better tennis player?
I think for me, man, like I love tennis, and like when I came here, it was like the only thing that I wanted to do. It was like I was coming on campus, like I'm gonna be a tennis player, man. That's gonna be my life. Like I'm gonna be a college athlete. I've been opened so much by the team and everybody, and like how good of friends and family it's been. Like, this dude's become like my closest friend. Just about yes, like sir. We do everything together. we're with each other about 8 months out of the year. Yeah. So it's either you like the people you're around, or
you grow to hate them.
Yeah, you grow to hate them. But we're super lucky to have as tight of a team as we have and have so much fun because, I mean, like, we practice 9:45 to 11:30 most nights. And so everyone could be real grouchy if they wanted to and be real mad about being there. But we make it fun. And I think we're able to have just a lot of really good fun, but also have some seriousness in it as well with, like, spiritual talks, anything like that. And I mean, we're in the vans for 4 or 5 hours sometimes, and so you talk about just about anything, everything, and you learn a lot about people and what all they have to offer. So, like, it's just grateful to have the opportunity to have such good friends and people that you know are going to be there for a lifetime, not just 3 or 4 years out of your life.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things I love is, like, the friends and the family, the new family that I have, and it's just like when we're all together, it's just everybody knows you can be super serious with one another or having fun, and I love that with them. Have some really close friends like he was talking about. But one of my favorite things is, like, we got a family across the world now. So, like, including the girls and the guys. Like, I could go to Argentina, have like 6 different places to stay, and they all are like, anytime you're there, if I'm not there, I will tell my parents and they will, like, have you.
Wow.
And then we have some, like, a girl from Germany, Ireland, Spain, and then we have Chile, like, all these places, right? So we have a family across the world, and seeing these, like, different cultures come in. I think something that's been, like, cool to see, but also a challenge, is how do we keep the values that we have as a team and as, like, Christians and representing a Christian college with people coming in that may not have the same values.
Yeah.
And so it's super cool, though, seeing the people who've been in the program for like 2 or 3 years now, they are starting to adopt the values as well. Even if they don't profess Christ, they're still, like, they know what we're about. They know how our team functions. They know what we will do and what we won't do. And so it's super cool, like being able to show the love of Christ to people that I would never have met if not for tennis. Yeah. And that's one of the things I'm so grateful for, is just, like, the friends and the family that I have from across the world now that would not have happened without tennis.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about college athletics is the fact that you create a family that you had no clue existed. I mean, I came here. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so like, I mean, I knew nobody coming here, and now, I mean, some of my best friends are people that are not from the state of Indiana, but go to IWU, and that's the thing is they're from like Ohio, Florida, you know, they're from here. I got friends from Marion, I got friends from around Indiana. So I mean, it's college athletics. I mean, that's why we wanted to start something like this podcast, is the fact that people have so many beautiful stories about being college athlete, like a college athlete. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's awesome to hear the fact that you have people from other countries who, like you said, probably either knew a little bit about Christ, but not as strongly, or knew nothing about him. And the fact that you have guys such like you, because I know you are, I see you around all the time, and especially like the both of you guys are just so strong in your faith. And so I see you guys at FCA stuff all the time. Yeah. And so that's awesome. I mean, it's really cool, the fact that you guys pour into these people that know nothing about Christ at all. So
yeah,
they're so inquisitive. Like, a bunch of our teammates, like a bunch of the guys from Argentina, especially one of them, Mariano, like he asks like some of the most groundbreaking hard questions that we'll talk for hours and hours on them. Like, just the hardest of any faith question. So, like, not only are you talking to him and helping them learn about it, but you're growing yourself too, because to have to process and think about that answer a lot of the time, like,
it's like, shoot, I don't really
what's it
know.
like to be made in God's image? Like, anything crazy like that, that you're like, it's not just like a 1-2 second answer. Like, it's a lot of fun to be part of that.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Well, so you guys are heading out Tuesday, right, Isaac?
Yep. Yeah,
so
for spring
Tuesday,
break. Yep.
You guys will be gone for a total of 13 days. You were telling me before the podcast started. So you guys have a lot of fun going down south, playing a bunch of good teams. You know, So you guys already have your national tournament bid.
Yeah, we're getting in there. We're just trying to get a better ranking now, because the better ranking you have, the easier the first rounds will be at nationals.
Yeah, and dude, that's another thing people don't talk about. People talk about basketball. You know, basketball is always in the top 5, top 10.
Yeah.
Women's
These boys
and
are
men's.
7th.
Dude, the men's and women's tennis team are like powerhouses in NAI. It's crazy, and you guys don't get the recognition you guys deserve.
I mean, the thing is, like, people always say that, and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe, but also at the same time, like, tennis does not bring out fans.
That's
Like, you know
true.
what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
tennis doesn't bring in any money, like nothing like that. And it's just like I don't really care. We don't need to be on the spotlight or anything like that. We know what we're doing. We know what we're going for, and we only have that to prove to each other.
Yeah. That's
And
back-to-back
guys.
humble people. That's back-to-back humble sports. We had throwers last week, and they're the same
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Same way.
What were you going to
Guys,
say?
guys don't have the history of being as good as the girls. The girls should be
Nuts.
like. I wouldn't be humble if I was the girls, man. They've won. What is it, like 40
It's like
something?
it's nearing 40 consecutive conference wins.
Wow.
They're always like 2 through, or I think 3rd right now where they're at is the highest they've ever been. But they're always top 10, and they're always so good. Like the guys are finally coming into success, and we're finally
It's
breaking
been a little bit.
records.
Yeah.
Been a little bit, but it's fine. I don't, like you said, I don't think we need the spotlight as much. It's just go do our thing, prove it one time, and then
Yeah.
whatever happens, man.
Yeah. Sweet.
Well, so Owen, before we head to our preview, do you guys have like a IWU men's tennis Instagram?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
we
know-
do. It's literally just IWU men's tennis
Gotcha.
all together.
All right.
Yeah. And then,
Alright.
like, any socials, you too?
Mine's just Trey.Thixton at Instagram, I think. That's all I'm on.
Mine's just Steiner.Isaac.
All right.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. That interview was
Yeah.
really, really awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
for sure.
awesome.
Thanks for
Guys,
having
thanks
us,
for
man.
having
Yeah,
us.
That was fun.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Owen, ready to go to the preview?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
All right, back out of the interview. We said it was going to be good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Told
and
ya.
So I took inspiration from them. That's
Oh,
why
really?
that's why I look drippy right now.
okay. I got you.
You know,
Do you have a
so-
watch on?
No.
Dang it.
I forgot my watch in my room that my parents brought down.
Dang it, Donovan.
Dang it. Oh well. Another game without a watch.
All right. So, anyways, let's
Take
get
it
into
away.
men's baseball. Just like we started off the episode, we're going to start off the outro. So, men's baseball currently is in Alabama. Lucky Dogs back in the South there in Montgomery, Alabama,
Dogs.
playing Faulkner University. They probably started this game right now, or not right now. They're probably playing this game right now. It started at 3:00.
Yeah.
The second game is supposed
I
to start
actually
at
have
6.
inside information.
I know your roommate
We were
or sweet mate.
you could also stream and watch the game, and me
Yes.
and my roommate were watching it, and we were winning 1-0 in the
1-0.
bottom of the second.
Okay, good job, boys. Well, there's 9 innings in a baseball game. I don't know if
There's
you know
a
that,
lot of
so.
innings more than 2.
So they have, what you said in the first inning, they were winning 1-0.
Bottom of the second.
Bottom of the second. So yeah, they have 7 more innings to go.
Yeah.
But good job to the boys. Hopefully they pulled out with the win. That score has not been announced yet. They're supposed to start the second game at 6. That probably won't happen considering it's baseball. So the second game will probably start at like 7 or 8ish in between those times.
Yeah.
So 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. The first game will start at 12. See, this makes more sense. The first game starts at 12 tomorrow, and then the second game is supposed to start at 3. That makes more sense.
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. So unlike today where it starts at 3 and then the second game is supposed to start at 6, unless it's strictly time-based and they cut
Unless
it.
that stream was horribly delayed.
Okay, true. So a 4-game set down in Montgomery, Alabama. Then the boys are coming right back up here March 2nd. They have a 2-game series against Cleary University. I think I'm saying that right. Cleary University over at Wildcat Stadium. So baseball is back in Marion. So I'm very excited about that.
Baseball.
So I'm very pumped about that because that means I get to start announcing the game. My one of our good friends, Sam, who's a comm major with us, also will be announcing those games. So make sure you guys tune into those live
I
streams.
might do a couple.
So yeah, you might do a couple too as well, and softball. So
Yeah.
And then on March 4th, Friday, I'll probably talk about this next week as well. They have the 4-game set against Spring Arbor University. The first game starting at 1, so 2 games Friday, 2 games on Saturday. The first game the first game next Saturday will start at 1. I'll probably talk about that again next week in the rundown. But just to kind of give you guys a heads up. So they'll be playing 3 teams within now to next week. So but it's baseball season, so they're kind of getting right into the gear of things. So hopefully the boys come out with a dub. And get back to either 500 or above 500 by the end of this long stretch they got going on. So tomorrow, the boys basketball team will play Grace College for the the conference or Crossroad League semifinals. So conference semis here at Lucky Arena. I mean, the whole series will go through lucky because
It
we were
should.
the top seed.
Yeah.
And then the Crossroads League finals will be on Tuesday. We're hoping the men's get there. We're not going to say anything because, we're bad luck, but knock on wood.
Who do they play? Who do they play tomorrow? Oh, Mount Vernon.
I know. I just said it, Grace.
They don't. I thought they played Mount Vernon. Okay.
No, they play Grace.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
both
they
teams
played
are actually playing Grace, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So Grace College of Indiana, unless this thing is wrong and it's talking
Grace
about
College
women's
is
basketball.
Men's team for Grace is
Yeah,
good.
men's team's Grace College is very good. Their recent scores against the Wildcats. Wildcats took the last game 79-69, so a 10-point game, which in basketball is not a lot.
No.
But the first game they kind of did handle them on January 4th. It was 77-63, which isn't a bad handle job. 14 points, but it is what it is. Donovan, don't laugh. So bowling, it doesn't have anything until next Saturday, March 5th is the College League Bowling Championship. Again, we have no clue if that's what it actually means. The CLB, we're not really sure. We just kind of
Taking
guesstimated on
guesses,
that.
throwing darts in the dark.
It's an acronym. We definitely know that because it's not the club championship. It's definitely CLB. So.
Hey, make it club, but drop the U.
Yeah, exactly. The tennis team, they will be playing. I'll talk about this again. Or no, today it's that tri-meet, University of Findlay and then the University of Northwestern Ohio. So that tri-meet that they're doing. And that the University of Northwestern Ohio is number 16 in the country. So finally,
Cool.
no offense to DePaul and Grand Valley, but hopefully some good competition.
Yeah.
And then you said that you did say the University of Findlay. Is it Findlay, right?
Findlay.
Findlay is an NCAA school, correct?
NCAA.
So they'll be
Division 2.
Okay, so they'll be going. They'll be in a tri-meet with an NAIA team and a NCAA Division 2's team. And then on Wednesday they'll be playing against number 22 Cumberland University in a dual meet. So again, great competition. And then guess who they talked about it in the interview just now. Guess who they will be playing Thursday and Friday?
Georgia Gwinnett.
Georgia Gwinnett at the Georgia Gwinnett Invite.
And that's going to be so big.
I know.
Because I think
Georgia was number 1 in the country.
Yeah, that's that. Well, but I think that they said that's the team that's never lost a match. They have like the biggest winning streak.
They have the biggest winning streak in all of NAIA sports.
Yeah.
So
No, in sports in general.
Yeah, that's what I said, in all of NAIA sports.
No, not just NAIA.
Oh, NCAA as well?
Like every single sport in the world.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so best of luck to the men's. I mean, I really hope they pull out with that dub.
That'd be awesome.
Because, that in its own right would be huge.
Yeah.
Because, Georgia Gwinnett backed out.
Of
Cowards.
the indoor
You
national
cowards.
championship.
Okay,
Backed
sorry.
out.
But so I'm pumped. I don't know about you, but I before we did this, I saw that and I was very excited because I remember they got heated when they were talking about how they want to beat Georgia Gwinnett and they want to play teams like that.
Yeah.
So they'll have, that's literally not counting the University of Findlay, but I mean think about it, it's an NCAA school, so they're good anyways. So not counting that, but they'll be going against number 16, number 22, and number 1.
That'd be a great weekend week.
Let me tell you, I have never been this more excited to see a men's tennis score. Because, think about it.
I'm going to be refreshing that puppy all night.
We're number 7
Yeah.
in the country. So we're going against 16, 22, and then the number 1 top dogs of Georgia Gwinnett. So, yeah. And then track and field on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of next week, they will be doing the NAIA Indoor National Championship in South Dakota. So, it's going to be cold, like Donovan said, but it's indoors because, it's snowing everywhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
So, Donovan, let's, tell us a little bit about what the girls basketball team's got coming up.
Yes. So girls basketball. So here in about 45 minutes, the girls game will tip off against Grace College.
What a great announcer.
With a great announcer, aka me. But then also, so by the time you guys see us, the game will be over. You guys will know the scores. But depending on who wins tonight, we'll move on to the Crossroads League Championships for women's basketball. That's either going to be at Marion or here If Marion loses, it will be here. If Marion wins tonight, it will be at Marion.
I hope it's at Marion and we just win.
That would be awesome. Well, we did that last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Did that last year.
We did the same thing. We lost 2 games in the regular season to them, and then came into their town over in Indianapolis and showed them who the top dog really is in the conference.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're gonna be looking forward to that game.
I've never been more excited about IW sports than this week.
It's a huge week.
It's a huge week, everyone. Tune in.
But then now for women's tennis. So women's tennis, they are also doing the Northwestern Ohio and University of Findlay tri-meet. So they're up there right now. Well, over there right now doing their thing against those tennis teams. Hopefully he's come out with 2 dubs there. And then next Wednesday, the girls team will go to Lebanon, Tennessee, where they'll play Cumberland University. Cumberland University is not ranked, but they are receiving votes.
Okay.
And then next Thursday, guess who they're going to play?
Georgia Gwinnett.
Yes, sir.
Are they number 1? Or
yes.
They're number 1 for
They're
women's
also
as well?
number one for women's.
Wow.
And so that would be
This
a
is
great
awesome.
meet because our women's tennis is number 3.
3, exactly. That'll
so
be a battle of the top dogs.
That'll be another great match there. So good luck to both tennis teams playing Georgia Gwinnett. So it'll be down in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Hopefully they do well down there.
Yeah.
And then for competitive cheer, they are going tomorrow. February just moved so fast.
It really
me.
did.
It really
but
did.
I mean, think about it. It's a short month. It only has, I think
28 days.
Is it 28 this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I don't think
2024.
we're going to leap year this year.
It's every 4.
Yeah, every 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know
Whatever.
what the next one will be. Yeah, we're just going to talk about leap years.
Yeah, we're talking about leap years. This is actually a new podcast, Leap Year, starring Donovan Edwards and Owen Hnatyshyn.
Yeah, all things cool that happened during leap years.
Just get off the subject, please.
But so competitive cheer tomorrow will do their Crossroads Conference Championship meet. That will be at Bethel College in Mishawaka.
Yep.
So good luck to them. Keep their winning streak alive. Mishawaka.
Good job.
You're
from here. Okay,
I grew up 30 minutes away from Mishawaka.
I was trying to give you props. Don't say anything.
Well, thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's guys like you.
Hey, I'm always looking out for you, Donovan.
Guys like you, man. And then for women's swimming, they will have their 41st annual Women's Swimming and Diving National Championships. Those start next Wednesday and will go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all of next week.
Dang.
And that will be down in Columbus, Georgia at the Columbus Aquatic Center.
Why are all these sports teams going to the South and we're over here in the freezing cold Midwest? I'm jealous, but also excited.
Yeah, it's true. Like for football, you guys don't have like a spring thing where you go down to like Florida.
Like I want to go down and play like Southeastern. It's a team in Florida.
Yeah.
But also it's probably like 90 degrees there. So
yeah, that's true. Then it's too hot.
Yeah,
you gotta find that fun middle ground.
Yeah. Maybe when we had a spring season last year, it'd have been nice to go down there.
Yeah, definitely during that spring season last year.
That was miserable.
Some of those games are very, very cold.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, are you done?
No.
Oh,
well, I do have softball. Do you want me to say that, or do you want to say your thing?
No. You go.
Okay.
You go.
So then softball. So they played Bryan College today. They will also play Reinhardt University. That one should have started about half an hour ago in Columbus, Georgia. So they're doing 4 games all in Columbus, Georgia, 2 today, 2 tomorrow. So the other one today is against Reinhardt University. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. they'll play Truett McConnell University, and then tomorrow evening they'll play Evangel University.
It's probably like
Reinhardt
a giant tournament.
It's the NFCA NAI Leadoff Classic.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And then Reinhardt University and Truett McConnell are receiving votes, but none of the other teams are ranked.
All right.
So hopefully they can mop the floor.
Definitely.
I said it. I did it. I didn't. I said we're gonna beat them badly, and then oh no. All right. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I got my voice back, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, I just murdered y'all's ears.
No, I mean, so yeah, the Owens voice.
I had a sinus infection. I went to the doctors, figured it out. I had a sinus infection. Sounded like a smoker for a couple weeks. Wasn't the funnest of things in the world because I had to film a podcast in the middle of sounding like a smoker for 3 weeks. But we're back. I'm on antibiotics. Shout out to the Marion General Hospital, what was it? Urgent care I went to down the road on the bypass. Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I'm pumped to have my voice back, Donovan.
Yeah. Well, because I remember Monday when you said you went. And
yeah. After class, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore.
Your voice has really gotten a lot better. So I think we had one episode. I think
Two.
that first episode.
It was 2 episodes.
2 episodes before it happened.
No, 1. Yeah.
It was I was about to say I think it hit
3
when
episodes.
men's.
Yeah, because this is our 5th episode.
Yeah.
So
we had one episode where Owen sounded like a normal human, and then we had 3 in a row where he sounded like a smoker.
I'm
back. He's fully back, baby.
Maybe I shouldn't yell this much.
Yeah. Maybe we should give the voice a rest. We just got it back. So yeah, Owen's back to talking like a normal person.
Owen.
Well, back to like normal Owen. So that was great. Good job on the doctors on their part.
Thank you, doctors.
But yeah,
shout out you, Mom and Dad, for telling me to go to the doctor's office because I sounded
I feel like it was more like Dr. Perry.
Dr. Perry bullied me
He's
into
like,
going,
yeah, you need to go.
You need to go to the doctor's office. Dr. Perry, please watch this.
please watch this. Please. So
See you in class on Monday.
See you in class on Monday, Dr. Perry. For us here, I have to run over to the girls' game now at 6:23, and I have to be there at 6:30. But it's fine. The game doesn't start till 7. I have time.
Yeah, you're good.
No one cares. Well, they would care, but like,
dude, you're the voice of the Wildcats.
I'm the voice of the Wildcats.
Yeah, exactly. Let them care about something.
Game
else.
waits on me, please. Game waits on me. But yeah, so 5 episodes down in the books. So yeah, shout out to men's tennis interview. Isaac Steiner, Trey Thixton. You two guys are amazing.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you guys have a great weekend and week
and
of
in
tennis
the
matches.
giant thing they're doing over spring break. So that 13-day stretch.
Yeah.
So best of luck, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be tough, but it's probably gonna be really fun. So
I'm sure it'll be tough. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun
because they're all really close, like they were saying. So
yeah, I mean, you either love them or hate them.
Yeah, because they said I mean, the fact that they literally do practices for 2 hours, but it's at 9 o'clock at night to like 11 o'clock. It's crazy. I mean, half the campus is probably asleep by the time they get done with practice.
I was talking to Isaac before the podcast started, and he was just saying, like, I said, why? Like, why do you have your practice then? And he said that's the only time when they can go in there.
Yeah, well, because it's inside of Troyer, and I mean, there's think about
indoor
track is in there,
women's tennis,
football's in there in the mornings, on Mondays and Thursdays. So
yeah. Well, so that's gonna wrap up today's episode. So Owen, thank you for joining me one more time, and thank you to you guys out there. Follow us WildWeek_Amplify on Instagram. Also, I did embed our Spotify link on our Instagram if you guys would like to listen to our audio version, but YouTube version, you guys know how to get it if you're watching this video. And tell other people about it. And also we post highlights on our Instagram.
Yeah, drop a comment in the YouTube and say you came from.
Actually, they can't.
They can't?
Yeah, I don't know why but the amplified thing they can't.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun to
interact with our audience.
Yeah. Maybe we can interact some other time.
Yeah, in the Instagram page.
Yeah, on the Instagram page. Reach out to us on the Instagram page.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, everyone have a blessed weekend. Stay out of the snow. If more snow is coming.
Stay safe.
Safe. If you're Owen's parents, you're down in Louisiana. Doesn't matter for you.
Lucky.
So lucky. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Peace.